Streamers live.
We're live? Awesome.
We're live.
Hi all, how are we? How are we? Welcome to another edition. I am joined by the amazing Nick Ronald, the Secret Influencer. How are you, Nick?
I'm great. Yes, great. Good to be here. Good to be on your show again.
Awesome. And we are joined by David Carson. How are you?
Amazing, mate. No, I'm feeling good, proper good. Excited.
That's good.
I'm on the mental health warriors, for God's sake.
Yeah. How can I not be excited?
Of course. Of course. Yeah. So obviously we are going to be discussing how we feel when we feel like our minds are about to explode, because I think we've all had those experiences. So I think Nick, while I just saw what the hell's going on with Instagram because it's not going live on some reason, do you want to kick us off with what to do?
Well, when it's about your mind's about to explode, I think often I relate that when I have a revelation, and sometimes it's just something actually can be quite something obvious, but when you realise something and you think, well, that explains it, or that's I should have known that for the moment. And I think also I'll get an example, but I don't know. I mean, talking about, like we talked about public speaking earlier, and I was talking to someone who's experienced about how do I stop the ums and the ers and all that, when you're doing that stage, and they said all you have to do is pause and just pause, take a breath, and it was a bit. It blew my mind because that's just such a simple, obvious thing, but then makes such a massive difference. And I think that's that sort of thing where you just someone tells you something, you hear something, and think, wow, that would make whatever it is make a massive difference in my life. But so often it's so obvious and simple, and I think the most often the things that make the biggest difference in your life are the simplest things. Often it's not some big complicated thing we have to do to improve our lives. Often we know what it is. It's doing it. It's a challenge. But what do you think, Dave?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, when you say when your mind's exploding, are we talking both ways, positively, say it, positively and negatively? Or are we just talking about the positive aspect of your mind blowing?
Yes.
Both. Yeah, both. Well, for me personally, in my experience,
because obviously we do get overwhelmed, and I think this title, "Is Your Mind About to Explode," is linked to when we get overwhelmed and burnout.
Yeah, so yeah, but it goes both ways. Well, I guess both ways. But on the positive side of things, for me, that Nick was just talking about there, for me, it's been reading books, because I used to read a lot years ago. And I'd be reading like I don't know, a spiritual novel or something, and there'd be just something really, really special within the sentence, and it just sort of hits you, and you think, aha, something connects, and in that respect, I can get that sort of overwhelm, definitely. Oh God, I'm getting cramped. What a great time to get cramp in your leg. Oh my God. Anyway, it's gone now. Don't worry.
Obviously, we'd like to know as well, like a little bit of a background of you, Dave.
Fantastic.
Who are you, and what journey have you had, and what have you ever been overwhelmed and experienced burnout?
I when I was growing up, I lacked so much self-confidence you cannot imagine it. Yeah, I've always been a people person, a chatty person, but I never really liked myself. I didn't like who I was. Lacked so much self-confidence, it was unreal. And I used to watch everybody else move on and move forward, which was quite quite difficult thing to experience. And just to know that you don't feel worthy or things like that. And I basically, I've basically just been working on myself. It's been an ongoing journey, reading loads of books, getting those aha moments. Discovered positive self-talk many years ago, and I realized it's important what we say to ourselves, because often you will put yourself down in lots of situations. And I always say to people, if someone come up to you and said, Adam, you're a loser, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you wouldn't like it, it wouldn't be nice. But yet we do it to ourselves a lot, even without realizing it, because it can become automatic.
Yeah.
So I became aware of that, made a huge difference to my life. I started like like realizing those moments where I used to use negative self-talk and just interrupt the pattern and stop it and say something positive. And I did that for quite a long time, to the extent it became quite obsessive, because with obsessions, some of them can be quite positive. So I might be driving to Birmingham, for instance, and the whole way there I would be telling myself, I'm a beautiful manifestation of existence. That would be my mantra, you know, the whole way, man. And after about 6 months of doing this, and I was a bit full on, I actually started to like myself. Now, I don't know if it was that mantra. I don't know if that was me programming my unconscious mind to overwrite some old negative programming that I had, but it definitely worked. And it's been I went to an ashram in India, spent 6 months there, which was amazing. Came back from there, like they say when you go to India, somewhere like that, it's a bit of one of them. You come back like I was a new man. Do you know what I mean? When I got back to England, I wasn't walking; I was floating across the floor. Do you know what I mean? Everything that come out my mouth was like, "Wow, did I actually say that?" So it definitely had some sort of dramatic effect upon me. And obviously, I've always been quite deep, quite philosophical about life. I've got certain concepts about life that have really helped me in life. And I discovered joyfulness. So I'm like probably one of the most joyful people you'll ever meet. Well, no, maybe this week anyway. All right. So and I'm in such gratitude for that. I really am, because I'm sure a lot of people would give their right arm to feel so good in themselves. And it's just a combination of liking who I am, and that's the fundamental thing for everybody. If if you don't like yourself, it's going to hold you back, and it's going to hold you back in everything you do. Public speaking, moving forward in your job, and it just affects everything. So I think for everybody, one of the first steps is to really work on liking who they are. They can look in the mirror and go, damn, amazing.
So, Dave, was interesting. You said you went to a retreat and in India, and I think you said meditation things, because if you look at a lot of meditation or even Buddhism, one of the main aims of that is they try to rise, above all the pressures and the chaos in our lives, and where our minds exploding with so many pressures and of modern life and overwhelm, to have that stillness and rise above it and just have that. So is that something what you learn when you're travels? Is that sort of part? Do you find you use that approach?
I've got to be honest. Now, a lot of people might think this is a bit mad, right? But I had an epiphany about 20 years ago, and the epiphany was that I realized that everything around me, including myself, was only one part of the truth, right? Because I know that everything's energy, and this energy is vibrating at a particular vibration, that everything's physical. Because if you get an electromagnetic microscope and you point it at a cup, eventually the cup will just turn into energy. Yeah. So I realized from that, on a very deep level, that whatever crap comes into my life, it's only one part of the truth. Do you see what I mean? So that really helped me. Now, I'm not saying that would help everybody, because we're all individual, but that particular epiphany for me made a massive difference in my life. So in a way, I don't take life anywhere near as seriously as I would have done before. and now I can enjoy life and have fun with life. And don't get me wrong, I get problems in my life, situations I like to call them, but I know and I have absolute faith that it's a good chance it's only going to be temporary, and if it'll all be good, and that's what happens. So there's some aspect of like attracting good things into your life there as well, because I think like attracts like. Sometimes opposites attract, of course, as well. But uh, I love
Yes.
it. Yeah, but the meditation, funny enough, a lot of people have meditated quite a bit, and there has been times where I have this stillness, and I've been to a place of nothingness, and it's incredible, but it doesn't happen very often. Mostly, I've got all these thoughts going through my head, and that's what
That's
happens. And I
the
think with
challenge.
meditation, people expect it to be dead still and they're doing it wrong and all that.
I love the
Whereas,
idea.
all
But, yeah.
these things that are coming up, they're obviously relevant, because I'm a great believer that, like Nick, Adam, and
Absolutely.
Dave.
So how did you feel? Like, what was going through your mind when you was negativity?
What was going through my mind when I was what, Nick, Adam? Because you froze for a second.
When you, I think there's a delay on my end. I really don't know.
Okay.
But but so I'll probably have to jump out and jump back on. I don't know. But
Yeah,
what was
did you
going
say?
through your mind when you was feeling shit?
Oh man, it was when I was feeling shit, right in the shit, and I didn't have any tools to get out of the shit. It ain't good, man. It's a shitty place to be. It's you just feel, you're just like in like a state of limbo. It's like, overwhelming. I like to use this little toy to sort of describe that, because when you're feeling it like that, normally the amygdala, the fight, flight, freeze response is reacting to these things, and it's like my amygdala was like that, yeah, and when it's like that, it ain't a great thing, especially if people experience lots of what we can perceive as awful things happening to them, like their pet might die, their mother dies, and the girlfriend says, "I don't want to be with you anymore." That's like three quite significant things that could like send you into a spiral in depression. But it's not good, and this is why it's important for people to get this education of what tools are available out there for them to be able to help themselves in these situations, because there's lots of tools out there, lots of tools. I mean, just go on YouTube, there's so many techniques out there that are free, and you can practice them, and not every technique works for everybody, but so it's like as a therapist, I've got a huge bag of tools, invisible tools, obviously, techniques, and I might work with you, Nick, with a technique and it won't work. It's like, so I've got to go into my bag and get another technique out. Do you know what I mean? And if none of my techniques work with you, then recommend you see somebody that might be able to help you. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's about having the tools. But even with the tools, Adam, if you haven't got a good basis, a good fundamental basis of liking yourself, it's going to be really difficult. Because the next thing will come along, and that's gonna do you in again. But and so it's like having them tools to be prepared for future events, and have like a good basis of liking yourself, so that you've got like a stronger defense against it. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can resonate that. It's like, so I was gonna say, it's like, they which is more important, having the right skill set, the skills, mindset, or tools, tool set, and obviously they're all important, but one you have most control over is obviously your own mindset, and then like you say, there's so when you find out there's so many tools that they can use to help you, I guess that's what's with the right mindset.
Absolutely, and like I say, there's so many resources out there, so many resources. And things like commitment and accountability comes into this as well, as you well know about this, Nick. It's like we can't expect everybody else to help us, yeah, because you do get a lot of people like that. They go outside themselves for everything, and it's a bit of a vicious circle. So it's really important to have that accountability and that commitment to to do whatever you wanna do, but whether it be get over something or.
I think with the overwhelm aspect, I think overwhelm is a real topical thing. I think nowadays with our increasingly stressful lives, we have to juggle so many balls in life nowadays, and overwhelm is becoming a big problem, and cause of stress. And I think part of it is focusing on what's important, because we under pressure to do so many things, and with perhaps our family, our personal life, our job, our career, our business, all these, our money, our status, our health, but I think what people can help us, and I think essentially it starts with trying to sort of focus what's important. And once because obviously with overwhelm, you have so many things that you're struggling to cope with, all things you need to do. So I think it comes down to sort of almost, okay, maybe I do need to do all these things. What's the most important? Prioritizing. What do I start with?
Yeah.
And that's what takes you forward in your life, by having to prioritize. It's like when I see my 8-year-old son, he lives in Wales, but whenever he comes, I always say to him, the one important thing is for you to have fun. That's the one important thing. Because it's not, he says, "Oh, but Dad, what we do?" He has a video overwhelm, and it's like for no reason. So I say, all that matters, son, is you have fun. So I think that's a bit of a simplistic sort of story. But I think the point is, I think we are getting overwhelmed. It's this big phenomenon almost,
It's
I think
crazy at the minute, Nick. It's crazy. I mean, it's people are struggling at the minute. Everyone's paying. I mean, it's got to be one of the most expensive countries in Europe at the minute, and like that, it's really difficult for people. It really, really is. And you know what the ironic thing is? Because in my work, people who come to see me, right, they don't have conscious problems, okay? Because if they had conscious problems, they'd probably be able to sort them out. Most people come to me with unconscious, subconscious problems, whatever you want to call it.
So just with that, how do they know they've got how do they know they've got the problem if it's sort of
the unconscious will present the symptom.
Okay.
And they just can't sort it because it's like it's deep in the brain. So people come to see me, and I actually talk with people's unconscious minds, and I often do little deals with it. It's really mad, actually.
Interesting.
But what I was going to say was, it's ironic that we're such sophisticated organisms out of all the species. Yeah, the fact that we are creators, in a big way, as you can see around you. Yeah, like Dave and Nick, we're in the forefront of everything. We're right at the front of the show with all the things coming in, all the colours, we're right in the middle of it. Everything coming through our senses, and all that information gets processed through our unconscious, and that information gets processed depending on what you've ever experienced in your life. And if your unconscious has got particular belief systems or patterns developed, then you're fucked. Basically, because there's no way around it. You have to communicate with that part of the organism to change it. It's one of the biggest flaws, I think. It's crazy.
I think it's fascinating. I studied New Linguistic Programming a while back, and it's similar. They say that everything we see and hear, we're automatically, subconsciously putting filters on it and our own prejudices without realizing, not even in seconds. So we're not ever seeing anything in 100% reality, because everything we see, we're filtering and
this is where that concept comes in. That epiphany I had was we only see one part of the truth. It's only we don't see the whole thing, and that applies to everything, including our emotions. You know, so a lot of people think they don't like the idea of the concept because it seems to take away a lot of yourself. You know, it's but like a lot of our perceptions, they're erroneous. You know, they're being like Adam might have a big nose, right? And I was bullied by a guy who had a big nose, and like because of that, I might not connect with him as much as I would, and I don't understand why I'm not connecting. I do connect with you, I don't worry, but I don't know why I'm not connecting. You get these people though, don't you? You meet them, and you just don't feel it. And there could be something like their nose reminds you of something way back.
I'll just do that then.
Hey!
So Adam, we were talking about overwhelm as being a big cause of stress, and that you said about think mind's going to blow, and I guess a lot of people nowadays is have just that crazy pressure of a million things we have to do, and just comes overwhelming. What do you relate to that, or what do you see as when you say your mind explode? What's it to you? Because it'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, first of all, I know that being stressed is just a choice because it's how we feel and it's all thought. And people need to stop educating themselves that whatever we think is how we're feeling. And like we were just talking just off camera before we came on that because you were swearing, Dave, and it's like, and you was like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, no, because this is how it is. It's just expressing how you feel.
It's being your authentic self as well. I think that's really
absolutely.
And I swear with my clients, honestly, I do. I'm like, fuck it, get rid of that shit. I'm like, I really get into it, and like on a set. No, I think they quite like it. If any clients are watching, you can let me know. But I think it's important, really important to be your authentic self, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it's just all about using those tools, because when we feel shit, that can actually be a positive. Yeah. Because
absolutely,
I've been negative recently, but that was the first time I've been negative in a very long time because I'm choosing to stay positive.
Absolutely.
Even though I've been insulted tonight regarding my large nose, but it's okay.
You know what you said there was really important, because I believe when you're triggered, right, especially when you're triggered, it's a great opportunity for you. Yeah. Because it is, isn't it? You have that choice, like you were talking about, Adam. Am I going to react to this way or that way? Now, you're lucky that you're able to discern them two things, yeah? A lot of people don't. It's automatic. It's their subconscious. Boom, pattern. And they're on a little merry-go-round. And it's like people in relationships. They'll just constantly go from relationship to relationship to relationship because they're stuck in this thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Super,
so what it is what it is. What did you two do to break that cycle of negativity?
Become aware of it. That's the first key. Because if you're not aware of it, then you're knackered, because you're just gonna go along with it. So for me, the first key is acknowledging what's actually going on, and that is awareness. They all talk about awareness. The great yogis. It's all about awareness, and it's so true. It really is about awareness. And once you become more aware, then you've got the choice. It's having that choice. Yeah. So if you choose to react to it, like sometimes when I'm driving, right, I know what's happening. Someone's in front of me, they're doing 20. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on. And that's me. I'm like really positive and joyful. But I actually choose to do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I choose it. But in a way, it is a good sort of I don't like jump out the car and stuff like that.
I read a book. I can't remember the surname of the guy, but it's by Adam someone, a philosopher. But he was saying that with all this positive thinking, self-help approach. We all have to be positive thinking about everything, positive about things, optimistic, positive. And he said that's good, but we should sometimes be able to acknowledge that sometimes things are a bit shit. Not like everything's great, trying all everything's great.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one of my moments was when I realised that if you're going through some shit, it doesn't mean that you're shit. There's a difference. So you can feel great about yourself, but you can feel shit about your situation, because at times we all have situations where things are going a bit shit, and perhaps we're struggling a bit, but it doesn't mean we have. But we have people feel bad about ourselves as a person. They're not necessarily the same. And I think that's the thing. That. So when I've had times where I've struggled, it's like, well, it doesn't mean that I'm failing or I'm bad, or it's just life does that.
Going on outside of us that we have no control of. And when you get cramp again, oh my god! And when you recognise, things happen outside of our control, and that's when you've just got to be like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna try and be the best version of myself and do my best, but that's all I can do.
100%.
And this is why I have two questions every single day when I wake up. Why am I here, and what's my purpose in life? And I have different answers every time, and nobody knows those answers. I give them to myself.
Yeah. Do you know what? I love that, Adam, because I've been doing that recently. I'm like, okay, because I've got a great relationship with, I call it the universe, call it whatever you like, but I'm like, come on, like we have a bit of a sense of humor, like what am I supposed to be doing? Like, just give me some sort of guidance, So I definitely do that as well. I think that's a good thing to do that as well, because I'm quite cool.
And it's same with looking in the mirror as well. Yeah. How many of us actually look in the mirror and say something positive about yourself?
I think it's. I mean, I like what you say you do in the beginning of the day. Because I think how we start the day is how we live the day, and those first moments you get up, and if you look in the mirror and you ask yourself some questions, you get, even affirmations and things, not everyone's, not for everyone. But I think anything, ask those questions, affirmations. I think it can make a difference to starting the day in the right way. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But yes, no, that's like. So you're saying about what's your vision, whatever, and I think that's kind of so important, because what our why, why we do things is what motivates us. If we have a really strong why, why do we get up in the morning? Why do we do our business, or whatever we do? Why do we do this dream? You do it because you're really passionate about it, because you want to make a difference in some way. I think that's a good question to start the day off in, because actually, if we don't have that clear, I think, goal or vision for life, we don't have that big why motivating us, then often we could end up drifting along thinking, well, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
Jumping in a taxi and saying, just drive me anywhere.
Yeah, drive me anywhere. I don't know. That's what I'm doing. I think, I think it's sometimes we don't know exactly what we're doing, but I think that is such a good question to start the day. What's my purpose? What's my why?
No,
absolutely. And this is why I would say when I do get clients, I would say, right, there's your picture there, and this is on a video call, or you see yourself, whatever.
Yeah.
Tell me what you don't like about yourself. Write down what you don't like about yourself, and then tell me what you do like about yourself. It's picking piece by piece of themselves.
Yeah, it is. It's a good strategy, actually, when you're working with clients, because you can get a lot out of them through that. Definitely. Yeah.
I suppose you probably, the first day, but so it's having that honesty, because we often, being honest with ourselves or being honest with others is quite a hard thing sometimes. So maybe I think when we go to a therapist or a coach or something, being able, having to ask those questions where you can actually be honest, and what do you really think about yourself? What do you really think? Are you proud of? So.
Yeah. In therapy, when you're working with someone, there's so many dynamics going on, and if you haven't got them right dynamics, you'll never get that experience where they really, they feel comfortable to do that. So it's it's a tricky one, but it is.
Yeah,
I'm one of
we've
those
got a
people,
couple of
right?
comments.
Oh Christ!
Jules,
Comments.
who's echoing?
You are at the moment, but I think I was as well. I think it's all of us.
We love an
I know
echo.
your microphone's up a bit, Nick.
It's what?
Found you at
Oh, it's
last.
me and you,
Jules!
Nick,
Hi,
that are
Jules, how
echoing.
are you? Woo-hoo-hoo. Sorry. It's a friend of mine, Jules, lovely lady.
Is that better? Is that better?
Apparently, you guys, your voice is echoing, not mine.
Yeah, some reason it's been Adam.
I'm unsure.
Yeah.
So that's better. Right, okay.
That's good.
Right, we're here then. We're here.
We ain't gonna worry about it.
Better late than never. Yeah, it's all right, Jules. I've already been insulted tonight by Dave, but it's okay. I still love the guy.
It's an opportunity for Adam, isn't it, Jules?
Yes.
It's all a bit of fun. I must remember not to use people I'm on a live with as an example.
To make up someone. Adam.
Your nose is perfect, Adam. Your nose is perfect. Your nose is perfect. Do you know what?
So Adam, we
thing,
say there's comments.
Yeah. I was going to say also, right? I did an experiment with subliminal audios. Subliminal messaging. Did it for 3 years. I've done about 4,000 hours of subliminals. Used to listen to them 7 days a week, 8 hours a night, right? For self-confidence and for like positivity and all that sort of stuff. And I believe it worked for me, definitely. And the idea behind those is that the affirmations are embedded in the music, therefore bypassing any critical part of yourself.
Interesting.
And overwriting any old bullshit. So, but it did work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Richard, to your question, we have actually covered what we mean about head explode, not literally explode, but just when we feel like overwhelmed and experience burnout and stuff like that. That's what I mean about. And my nose is better than Barry Manilow's. Okay.
There you go. That's a positive.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we did go talk about how we feel when mind explodes. Now we're talking about Adam's nose.
Okay. Yeah. We love a digress.
What's that?
Are you talking to me?
Is that Dave?
Oh, sorry. No, I said we love to digress. Whatever. I wouldn't worry about it. But if my head was exploding, because tomorrow something could happen in my life and it will be overwhelming. Like my mum might die, my dog might die.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that about something happening, because my partner was actually talking about this with me earlier. She was talking about actually about our wills, if something happened, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not ready to die yet. I'm loving my life.
I love it. I was saying there. So something could happen tomorrow really bad. And if I'm honest with you, if it was really bad, yeah, I would be right in the bullshit. Yeah, right in it. Yeah, because I would be. But it wouldn't take long for me to recognize it and pull myself away from it. Again, it's about that awareness and recognition.
Yeah.
Because I did an experiment with my friend. We did this positive self-talk, like I was a beautiful manifestation of life all the way to Birmingham. It wasn't just that. I'm a beautiful person. I'm confident. I'm self-assured. All that sort of stuff. And we were chatting because we were both doing it. And he said, "Have you noticed now when you're in the bullshit, it only lasts for like a very short time?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is crazy." So like that's quite interesting, I think.
I remember I went to Robbie Tony Robbins, is it? Tony Robbins event,
Oh yeah.
and he talks a lot about changing your state. So if you get into a bad headspace, you'll get overwhelmed, your head might explode. He talks about like just changing your state, like
Changing
wherever
your
you
body
can,
language.
just
Yeah.
he said like just for example, like he put some loud music, I don't know, or can you go out, out of the room and out of the building with people? Can you I don't know, do I don't know, do a dance? And he says, change your state, do something that will shake you out of it. And I get the point, that actually, if we're absorbed in something, where my head literally feels like it's going to explode, we need to do something totally different, totally opposite. I'll just completely change our. When we're in that state, it's almost like obsession. We're getting all we can think about is the same thing. That's why our head's about to explode, and we can't stop thinking about it again.
Exactly.
So we need to I do agree with that point that we need to do something else, just get us out, whatever it is, leave the environment. Play some music. I don't know. Just do something to get us out of that state, or where we're just all we're doing is thinking about one thing.
I'd like to share some techniques with you guys or for people watching, if they're really in the thick of it. I don't know if you ever heard of the havening technique. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, the havening technique. Okay, so it sort of see if you can see me here. Let me just do this. So
what I'll do is while you're showing the technique, I'll boot me and Nick into the green room so you can show everyone.
All right, whatever, no worries. Woohoo! Okay, a few techniques. Well, this one in particular is called the havening technique. And if you're in the thick of it, and things are really bad, what you do is you get your hands on your shoulders like this, and you just gently bring them down to like your elbows, like this. And you just do it gently and softly. It's a bit like having a hug. You're hugging yourself. And apparently, well, it's worked for me, and it worked for thousands and thousands of other people. It calms the nervous system. And then you can do this with your face. You can just gently stroke down your face like that. And the other one of it is just gently stroking your hands like that. And it's surprising how quickly you can pull yourself out of out of the thick of it when you're really in it. And one of the other ones is a technique called EFT. I'm sure maybe you've all heard of EFT. Yeah, EFT is a tapping technique. Yeah. I haven't got time to describe it all right now, but EFT is based on acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture, whatever. Tapping meridian points. Exactly, Adam. That's what you call the setup, right? Tapping here. So let's say, I'll do it very quickly. Let's say you're really stressed out because someone's upset you, or like you're about to lose your job. So you will tell the brain what the problem is, and you do it like this. Even though I'm really stressed out about losing my job, I choose to love myself. See that? I choose to love myself and accept myself. And you say that 3 times. And then these are the tapping points. And as you tap each point, you just remind the brain, I'm really stressed up about losing my job. I'm really stressed out about losing my job. Stressed out about losing my job. Stressed out about these are the points. Stressed out about losing my job. Stressed out about losing my job. And the other point is sort of in the middle of your side. And you can find this on the internet, on Google. And the guy that created this technique, or come across it, gave it to the world for free. Yeah, it was an incredible gesture, because a lot of people, you have to pay to learn these techniques. Yeah, and it's a fantastic way of allowing the nervous system to calm down. and take you out of that. But the Havening one, it's beautiful actually. You just try it. Have a go now. Just gently do this with your arms, guys. Yeah. Put your hands on the top of your shoulders like this, and just gently bring them down, and just stroke yourself like that. It feels really good.
It's quite nice, actually. Yeah.
You're doing this all night, man. Oh, yeah.
Self-love, self-care.
Self-love, self-care. A fantastic technique. Paul McKenna advocates it quite a lot. But the EFT is a fantastic technique. To really quickly take yourself out of that state. And obviously you've got deep breathing exercises as well that you can do. Or you can just go for a walk, or some exercise, get them endorphins being released into the brain.
Yes.
There's lots of different things.
I think the important, it's doing something different.
Exactly.
The more you stay absorbed, I think, and the worse it'll get. So it's doing something different.
Or you could do a Dave and go Facebook Live and try and have banter while in his truck.
What's that in his truck? Oh, me. On my TikTok, you on about. I got into trouble a few times because never mind. But anyway, I love going for a walk, man. I love walking because it gives me the opportunity to go through everything that's going on in my life. It's a great thing. And in a park, you're surrounded by nature, and I'm absolutely sure nature has a great effect upon us. Do you know what I mean? You go into the woods, it's like wow,
definitely. I think nature's one of the most powerful forces there is.
But I was going to tell you, I was going to go on to the integral eye movement therapy that I do, which is quite interesting actually, because let's say something happened 25 years ago, yeah. Well, as it's all happening, your eyes are going to be moving in different directions because you're looking there, in that thing. And the idea is that a lot of these traumas are trapped in your nervous system because they're in limbo, because like the amygdala, the fight, flight, freeze, yeah, it's like, whoa, fuck. And when it does this, the hippocampus, which this is broadly speaking, the hippocampus's job is to date stamp all the memories and experience as it's coming through this amygdala. And when the amygdala is like, fuck, the hippocampus stops that job and starts doing a different job and floods the body with chemicals to protect you, to give you more energy to escape or whatever. But unfortunately, while it's doing that particular experience, that memory, that experience gets stuck in limbo. It's not being coded properly. So when someone does integral eye movement therapy or EMDR, whichever, we move the eyes on certain axes while they hold on to a memory that was like quite difficult for them. Yeah, and while they're holding on to the memory, the hippocampus is like, oh shit, I forgot about that one. Yeah, let's code it. Boom. And then before you know it, the memory, it's like it changes. The emotion goes out of it, and they're absolutely free of that for the rest of their lives. Apparently, that's what they say. So far, I've never had anyone come back to me that I've done this technique with on a particular memory. They've never come back and said, "Oh, that memory's back," because they say it just can't happen because you've recoded the memory. The brain's recoded it, and it's because of the nervous system. The eyes of the brain on the outside, they're heavily connected with the nervous system. So, like I say, the idea is that it's all not just in here, it's through the body. A great technique. Great for trauma and great for identity as well, because we all have different identities. I'm like this with my mum, I'm like this with me friends, I'm like whatever, yeah. And like if I'm in a confrontation, for instance, I might regress to like 15, start throwing my toys out the pram, yeah. So because we're not operating at our current age, which is all to do with the programming and our unconscious, and we can use this technique for that as well. We with the normal memories and emotions, it's normally from side to side and on angles like that. But with the identity stuff, we tend to do like a figure of 8. You can see that. Anyway, I don't know why the figure of 8 works better with the way the eyes move for things like that. So, so what you do is someone who's operating at 17 years of age in particular situations, we can help them with that and get them to operate from their current age in all aspects of their life. Incredible technique. Really good.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The whole thing of hypnotherapy is always fascinating me. So I add that skill to my bow one day.
But with hypnotherapy, you know, like when I first learned it in 1993, it's quite a long time ago. I haven't been practicing since then. I did it for a while and then I left it and I started a cleaning company, of all things. But I always thought that all these things happened in the brain, you know, in here. But it ain't. It all happens right throughout the body, you know.
And do you use your Dave? Do you use your approach on yourself as well as your clients?
With the eye movement, it's really difficult to do it on yourself. Although I do, I just move my eyes from like that.
And hypnotherapy, do you sort of use that?
Hypnotherapy. I listen to. I create subliminal audio, so I listen to my own audios. But my main technique is that one. That's what I've used for the last 15 years. If I've got any problems, straight on here, you know, because it works efficiently for me and quickly and easily. Other people, maybe it doesn't work as well. Again, if I had a technique that could work for everybody, it'd be like multi-millionaire, man. I'd have like gold glimmering sunglasses.
What works for someone will not work for another.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like I said before, that's why, especially if you're helping people, you've got to have a big bag of tools. You know, it's like what with you, Nick, when you're working with people. You know, certain approaches, they're just not getting it. So you've got to go in a different angle and try and get.
Yeah, definitely. I think people. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own way of learning, and you know, you've got to tailor a bit to the extent on the person. I think to understand people well. You fully find out yourself, your clients. Like I say, there's never one size fits all of anything.
Absolutely. I was just looking at Richard Fay's comment there. I'm 60, prefer to operate at 25. I love that, Richard. I love it.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know, they actually say, didn't they? I think I'm not very religious. Yeah, I'm a bit of a shopper. You know, I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But they say, you know, be childlike. You know, because a child's like, whoa, what the fuck? Wow, and we lose that as we get older. You know. So
we do.
I agree.
For me, again,
and that's why the partner can't take me into a toy shop, because my inner child comes out.
Actually, I heard somewhere that people who are very fixed in their way of view of the world and how things should be, and you know, as they get older, they sort of more serious about, you know, how, you know, this is the way they expect themselves to be, life should be. Struggle when there's change. They struggle to cope with change. But people who are a bit more creative in their approach, a bit more childlike, cope with change better, and they tend to not get as overwhelmed much because they have that almost childlike approach to things. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think if you're really fixed and it's got to be this way, everything, you know, has to happen this way, and if things don't happen that way, then suddenly you struggle, you know. But I think if you've got that childlike, you know, sort of view of playful way of things, then I think that's different.
It's even to the point where, like, I can go outside. I don't do it all the time. I go outside and I see like the field and the trees and even the roads, and I'm like, wow. This is incredible, because this is all energy. This is all moving energy, but it's so solid. How the fuck is that possible? This is incredible. So sometimes I'm like a little kid, like a 3-year-old that's discovering the world, you know, just because of that concept again, that it's all the only part of the truth, if you see what I mean. what you
I
say.
have to tell you something very quickly. So my mother's 80, and she's got a couple of friends, and she knows at university, and they're the same age. But if you looked at them, you would think her friends, his particular friends, are like 20 years old, they're 100 or something. And you think my mum was younger, because my mother's friends, they think they're old. They think, well, we're 80, we're old, but act old. We should act old and feel old because they're 80. My mother does the opposite. She goes travelling. She goes to theatre and pubs, and she looks younger, and people think she's younger because she's got a youthful approach to life. And that just shows, I think, that
it's a narrative, isn't it? It's a narrative.
Yeah.
We're all,
Do you feel young with your old age? I think that's
the narrative. It's like me. I dress like a 35-year-old. It helps me. Helps me keep my youth. I've got young children as well, like 13 and 16. It's like fantastic. It's like, doing my best to be the cool dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I've got a TikTok channel, right? And my daughter come home one day, she said, "Oh, Dad, all my friends saw you on TikTok." And I said, "Oh no, did they?" Thinking that it was a bad thing. She went, "No, they think you're a fucking legend." Cool. And I was like, "Whoa, that's really good." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something right.
I'll get that now. That's an endorsement there.
Oh, absolutely. It is. You just have to be your inner child, otherwise something bad's going to happen. It's keeping that creativity that is getting drummed out of kids day in, day out in schools.
I agree. Yeah, I think kids, it gets drummed out to an extent because kids are told almost, well, as you get older, you've got to be responsible. You've got to take it seriously. When you get to your 20s, you're going to have to get a job. And that's they've got to be aware of responsibilities. But at the same time, they've got to retain the joyful, creative, playful sense of life, because actually that's what is going to ground you and help you cope with life better, I think. So
I tell you, a good tip for anyone that wants to get creative, get off your phone as much as you do, and definitely throw the telly in the bin. Get rid of that fucker. That is the biggest creativity killer I've ever come across. I haven't had the telly for 4 years. I watch Netflix and stuff, but like I'm always doing something creative. It's like so I'm definitely with you on that. Yeah, keep it real, keep it creative. It's a new punchline, isn't it? Keep it real.
Yeah, another show.
I'm turning because obviously I'm doing this, but because it hasn't connected to Instagram, I've gone on my phone and gone live on Instagram. So we've got comments coming through here as well.
Oh wow!
Oh, I see. Delayed.
I'll have to remember that, because I told you I went live once, and my 2 Facebook channels, it had a little cross on it. I was like, oh no. Plus, I'd pressed the record button 10 minutes into the talk.
Yeah.
Didn't go down.
I hope everyone's okay today. Obviously, it is Times to Talk Day, which that should be every day anyway. But it's just as it is. Just what can we do to move forward to bring that awareness and to accept, yes, we have shit days, but at the same time, it's a lesson and it's an opportunity for us to grow.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to hear what the people who've given the comments, like how they. We've only got a couple. I don't know if Jules is still there. What do you guys do to overcome your really stressful moments? Or if anyone's watching, let us know.
Oh yeah, I know not every day is shit, Kev. I know that. That's why you put not every day is shit. I totally agree. But it's when we do have those shit days, it's what do we do? Because shit days we feel we can't be arsed and can't be arsed getting up, can't be arsed cleaning, can't be arsed going for a shower, can't be arsed eating and all that crap. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're entitled to have a lazy day from time to time. I get that. I've had them many times, but it's just keeping going because no one else is gonna come in and do it for you. You have to get off your ass and do it yourself.
I had one of them 2 weeks ago. Right, 2 days on the run. I was on my bed and I did nothing. my room was a mess. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It was like I was just like, and I've got to be honest. I was thinking, wow, what is this? Because like I'm always like, do and I have to admit afterwards, I was thinking, like there must be something wrong here. There must be something wrong. But actually, in truth, yeah, sometimes you need to do that. If you did it every day, then obviously you've got a bit of a situation going.
You got the problem, yeah.
Yeah.
But even when, with the word problem, if people can, obviously we were talking about identities earlier, but if we can identify a problem with something, because where there's a problem, there's always a solution.
Yeah.
And if it's a problem shared, then it's a problem halved.
But even changing, it's all about the words we use again. Even changing the word from problem to situation, because like problems,
Exactly.
it's a bit like a terrorist and freedom fighter. It's like there's a massive difference there. And I'm quite into that. I truly believe everything we say is being filtered into the unconscious. And if we say something too much like, oh shit, my memory, oh not again, my memory, not again, my memory, your unconscious is like, hey guys, he wants a dodgy memory, right? We're gonna have to do this for him. Yeah, so like make him forget more things, because that's what he wants to do. And this is based on the idea that your unconscious always has your best interest at heart, or every moment. It's an NLP supposition, like an idea. Even people who murder people, they believe their unconscious mind thinks there's some positive thing behind it. Obviously, it's all mixed up. Do you know what I mean? But there's always some positive behind every action.
Yeah, well, just to add on to that, Dave, obviously, Kev did actually put your days on what you make it. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. That can't get any better.
No, sums it up.
Absolutely. No, definitely. Who was that in a comment? Was it?
Yeah. Well,
who was that? Kevin.
What's that?
Was his name Kevin?
Yeah. He's on Instagram called the Cop Artist. So if anyone wants to go and follow him, he does terrific paintings and drawings. He really does. I highly recommend him. So obviously, Kevin, if you want to come on camera,
I admire anyone that gets into art and stuff, because it's creativity, isn't it? Sorry, I'm talking earlier. I always admire people that can,
and that's why I started that drawing as well.
You've got into your drawing, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it's very creative, and I think it's really good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great comment. What we put in, what you get out. But also, if you put in negative thoughts, then you're going to get negative thoughts out. So if you put positive thoughts in, whatever you put in, you're going to get that out. So it's kind of make sure to put the right things into them.
Yeah, and as we're growing up, we're told these things by our parents, because our parents don't know any better, because they're on the same wheel, and so we haven't always got a great start. Like from the moment you come out the womb, you're in a state of hypnosis. This is what they believe. Up to about 7 or 8 years of age, you're just absorbing everything. That's what it's like when you're in hypnosis. Apparently, the brain's the same as like when you're in a state of hypnosis. So when people say, "Oh, I've never experienced hypnosis," I say you have for like 7 years of your life when you were a kid. So you imagine when you're absorbing everything, and you've got a negative parent, and they're saying you're frigging useless, or like, yeah, come here, you basket, like all that sort of stuff. It's going to be even more difficult, definitely. Again, starting off with a
obviously Kev's trying to come on live with on Instagram here, so I'm trying to bring him on, but it's not letting. Oh, you've got there he is.
What's going on?
Kevin, how are you? We love you, Kevin.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I'll tell you. There's everyone.
Hey, Kevin.
Hello, mate.
We got Can you see him now?
Yeah, I can see
see
him.
him. Can see him.
He's on.
Can't hear him, mine, but I can see him.
Right, well, we've got Dave Carson and we've got Nick Ronald. Yeah, he says evening.
I
Just
heard
turn
him.
you
I
all
heard
up.
him. Evening.
I can hear him.
Where is he? Is he in the UK? Is he in the UK? Is he?
Hey.
Yeah, so everyone's tuning in now. This is phenomenal. And it's just Nick and Art as usual, isn't it?
What does Kevin do?
Yes, Cheryl.
Yeah.
My mate from all the way from over from Arizona is it as well?
Arizona.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Is he based in Arizona? Is he based
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Really cool.
Is he based in Arizona?
I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, Kevin. Do you want to come and live in Bognor Regis, mate? I'll go to Arizona. With all them
No. Kev is based in Liverpool.
Hey, is he a fellow scouser? No, is he?
He is a scouser, yes.
Kevin's a scouser.
All right. Yeah.
Is he? Kevin!
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, lad, how are you, man?
You're genuine. You're
I
genuine
hope you're
scout.
Liverpool, mate, not Everton.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Two scouts because that.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Cheryl? I don't even know where to go from this. I'm on my nose insulted today. It's big. I don't.
It goes across your face.
Oh, shut up, you.
You don't have cheeks, mate. Your nostrils are your cheeks.
Bless.
Thanks,
I
Dave.
don't know.
Liverpool scouts humour.
Yeah, but
And
apparently we're all
Richard's
comedians.
what Adam's face is a picture.
It's not a picture I'd want to paint.
I don't know. Explosions.
What can I say, mate?
I know it's time to talk day today, but come on, guys, keep positive. No, me and Kev always have banter. But yeah, I do. I highly recommend if you're into art, go and check out his Instagram. He's on TikTok as well when he's not banned. So obviously get bananaed. But yeah.
I had a video taken down the other day actually because of copyright infringement. I wasn't happy.
I've had that.
Because my music, I paid for the music from this company in Colorado. They make their own music. I can use it for anything, even for monetization.
Yeah, I've had that.
And
They say with Facebook, isn't it? Though?
Yeah, they send me like the cis letters because they say I'm over some copyright issue and there's nothing on it, but it's just a video of me talking, so there's not even any music in it. I don't understand what the copyright for it is. Must be an automatic program now that checks things.
I did a technique. I did like a mini hypnotic technique for everybody, yeah. And it's a really funky technique. It's like you have your arm like this. I talk to you without hypnosis, and I get your unconscious mind to move your hand like that, yeah.
Wow.
So I show people that that you're never alone because your unconscious mind is showing you that it's moving your hand without you moving it. And you can even go a step further and ask the unconscious mind, this is communicating with the unconscious mind, to take control of all the cardiovascular systems, the mouth, the tongue, the teeth. And it can even talk through their mouth to you. It's crazy, real or imagined, yeah. But I've helped people with chronic pain with this technique. Because like their hand will go yes or no or yes or no, and I'll say, look, like.
So you hypnotise them.
No, it's not. It's no hypnosis at all.
Okay.
No hypnosis. You basically just get someone to put their elbow like that, and then I suggest to their unconscious mind that I suggest to it suggest to the unconscious mind to take full control of all the muscle groups. And once you've done that, I want you to move the person's hand for me. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I can get a yes and a no. It's great.
Amazing.
I've used this technique a lot. And I had a lady who had chronic pain for like 10 years. And I used this technique on it. I said, does Deirdre need this pain anymore? And it's like, nope. And I said, well, let's get rid of it then.
I'm going to have to message you and find out more about this.
It was chronic pain. So you can only really do chronic pain. So we're like, you've tried everything, you know.
Yeah,
and this technique actually, you know.
I think we should wrap up on here.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So Dave, where can people find you?
They can find me on, they can find me loads of places actually. TikTok channel, Free the Mind UK. I've got this channel based on me being incredibly joyful and on lifting people's energy up on Free the Mind. And they can also find me on Facebook, Free the Mind UK, and YouTube, Free the Mind UK. And I've got this, if you don't mind me saying, Adam, I've got a podcast where I interview a therapist on a regular basis. And it's good for people who are suffering, that they can get the opportunity to watch the podcast, and maybe it's a healer or whatever. And it's like educating them what's available in an alternative sense. So it's really cool. So Free the Mind UK, we've got a Free the Minds.
All right, well, I'll wrap this up. And we'll see you next week. I know, Nick, you're not on next week, are you?
I can't next week. Yeah, I'm here, unfortunately, but hopefully the week or so afterwards I can work again.
Fantastic.
But great to meet you, Dave, and good topic.
And you as well. And you, Adam.
Yeah, well, I'll wrap this up on here, but I'll carry on Instagram.
Yes.
I'll carry on Instagram. So if you want to come over on Instagram, it's MHWarrior2020, and let's get stuck in, because I know me and Kev's about to have a bit of banter now. Okay.
Excellent, guys. Well, thank you for having me anyway.
All right, guys. Yeah, good to catch up.
See you later.
Take it easy.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.